Welcome back to my face. My name is Brianna and I'm the head honcho here at Bamby Media. If you've clicked on this video, it means that you're probably a podcaster that's looking to improve the quality of your podcast production. In this series of videos, you're going to learn how to record and edit your podcast using Descript, and there will be a link to Descript in the description below. Yes, we're also an affiliate of theirs because they are pretty flippin' awesome. If you'd prefer to consume this content in order, then you need to head to bambymedia.com/DIY podcaster. You'll just need to create an account to actually get into the back end of that, but it is completely free at no cost to you, which rarely happens these days, so I'm pretty excited about doing that. If you'd like to work with us here at Bamby Media, you can also just head to bambymedia.com, and there is a bunch of ways to work with us. All right, let's dive in. In this video, we're going to go through how to edit your solo episodes. So this is with video, very simple to do. The normal process is... Welcome back to another episode of podcast. You can see we don't want that. So we just hover S, delete. Welcome back to another episode of Podcast Editing Like a Pro. I'm your host, Brianna. There's some heavy P's I'm finding. This particular microphone, the pop filter, is not handling my P's as well as my other microphones, which I find a little bit frustrating. Like a pro, I can manage that myself by going really close in and pressing S and cutting out a bit of that P sound, and then I can see how that sounds. Like a pro. I'm your host. See, that's taken a little bit of the edge off, but not so much that the video's been affected. Like a pro. I'm your host, Brianna, and I'm so happy to have you here with me today, where we are going to discuss different aspects of podcast production that you may not have thought about. The first thing we want to make sure that we do when we are looking to do podcast editing is to make sure that we have the right gear, so that when we go to record, we actually give ourselves the best chance of doing a good job. And it actually makes the production on the other end not so hard to do because you've set yourself up well. You've got a good camera, or you've got great audio coming in. And if you're coaching clients through this, then you need to make sure at the outset that their audio is going to be as good as possible. Do they have a good microphone? Do they have it nice and close to their mouth? How are you helping them or yourself get the best possible quality audio and video from the gear from the very first step? That is the very first step, making sure that your gear is... Okay, so there's just that little bit there I'll get rid of where I said from the gear when I can
audio
do this.
And video from the gear. That is the very...
And see how, because I've cut, it's jump cut. So I'm in a slightly different location, but that's okay. Jump cutting is something that people are okay with now. It used to be that we used to try and have to hide all our transitions and all our cuts to make it all seamless, but it's so not a big deal anymore that you can do it and it actually is fine.
Gear, that is the very first step. I hope you've got value.
Okay, so there's another one here. There's a little saliva noise. Get rid of this.
Of mistakes. It's been so lovely to chat to you today. If you've got any comments, put it in down.
Yeah, put it in. So again, I'm just going to go up here for this one. I'm going to see what it takes. Cool.
If you've got any comments, put it in down below in YouTube. And thank you so much for... If you've got any comments, put it in down below in YouTube. And thank you so much for joining me.
Okay, that's it. So I just recorded something really simple, but your episode would be, I would hope, potentially a lot longer than that. That's the next stage of the edit. So really simple. Have you got all the cuts right? Do you look good? Have you got the EQ? You've edited everything that you're going to want. The next stage of things is where things get a little bit more fun. Potentially, you might want to put some words up on the screen. You might want to use some stock images or photos or things like that that support what you're talking about. So if we go back through, you can see where I start to do that and how I do it.
Welcome back to another episode of Podcast Editing Like a Pro. I'm your host, Brianna, and I'm so happy.
I'm your host, Brianna. So for me, I had our videographer and designer actually create a little lower third thing for me so that whenever I say my name, I come up with this little boop, bosh bish thing, right? So I can add that.
I'm your host, Brianna. If you don't have the luxury of someone to create a cool lower third for you that you can use, and certainly you could reach out to us, by the way, if you want us to do something like that, to create a lower third for you that you can use on all your videos, we can definitely and do offer that as a service to sort of add some little extra branded things that you can just use every time you create a video. Just editing like a pro. I'm your host, Brianna, and I'm so I'll just move that over a bit and make sure it slides in like I want it to. Like a pro. I'm your host, Brianna, and I'm so happy to have you here with me today, where we are going to discuss. It's slow because it's trying to manage I haven't allowed it enough time to just do its thing that it normally does with Descript. When you import new video, it gets a little freaked out sometimes, especially because that particular video is 4K quality. That's what I have. If you don't have something like that and you want to go, I'm your host, Brianna, you can highlight that text, go up here, go GIFs, go GIF stickers, and go wave, like hi, and it might show you a bunch of ocean waves, but it might also give us a little wave. So we'll see what it does. Hi. Hi. This is a cute one. He's cute, so maybe I would use that. And because I've highlighted the text, it's going to create a scene, okay, just for when that comes in. Hello. And we'll see what it looks like. Editing like a pro. I'm your host, Brianna, and I'm so happy to have you here with me today. And you could also do Brianna, and you could put the title in and make it like this, Brianna. Put the name in, use your own font if you've got one, and you can upload your own fonts like this if you've got access to do so, if you've got the rights to do so. And I can change the font color if I want to. I can change the size of it. Oops. Just want to make sure I'm selecting just that. Brianna. Cool. And I could also, if I wanted that to stand out a little bit more, BRI, my name looks weird. Okay, so then we go like this. And let's give it a border. And let's give it a thicker border so that I stand out. Get rid of the Shore logo there. Maybe I might move my little Encanto lady. Pro. I'm your host, Brianna, and I'm so happy. Oh, and because she's... Let's bring you over here. Pro. I'm your host, Brianna, and I'm so happy to have you here with me today, where we are going to discuss different aspects of podcast production that you may not have thought about. Okay, so now thought of is actually thought about. Firstly, you can change that if you want to. Thought about. May not have thought about. We can correct that if we want. But what we might do here is go, I want to say thinking. And I'm going to GIFs, and I'm going to look for a GIF like that. Or SpongeBob. Something that's widescreen though, like Tom Hanks, that's pretty funny. So I'm going to put that one in. Not have thought about. The first thing we want to make that a bit bigger. Go for a bit longer, and just make sure that it's turned off this loop. We never want it to loop. We just want to see how long this GIF actually is, because I would like to get the whole thing in if I can. And just move the scene over. You may not have thought about. The first thing we want to make sure that we do when we are looking to do podcast editing is to make sure that we have the right gear, so that when we go so gear, again, I could just select the right gear, and I could find something like podcast equipment, or I could type in microphone, and it just is going to be a GIF sticker, and maybe I'll just search for microphone. Cool, and then I can just have that, beep, that's a cool one, and I can have that come up in that. Make it smaller. What you can also do is put some sound effects in. So at the same time that that microphone comes up, you could also put a sound effect in. So if you go to audio, sound effects, and then you go pop, like maybe pop sound. That's fun. And it's quite long, so I'll just make it shorter, is to make sure that we have the right gear. So then I would bring it in when I say gear, not before. Yes, we don't want this to loop. Stop looping. Just going to move that transition over here. Is to make sure that we have the right gear so that when we go to... Yeah, you see what I mean? So you can just actually start to do as much of that as you want to then create an episode that you feel like is a lot more fun. Now, I suggest certainly for the first 30 to 45 seconds of your video that you put as much effort into making it look fun, cool, distinct, on brand, whatever it is, to hook the person into actually watching the entire thing. Because the YouTube algorithm will look at how long people have watched for, and if they've made it past 30 seconds, then it's like you get a little extra boost, which is cool. And then you've got to try and get them to a minute. There's a few other kind of benchmarks that you then go through, but so ideally, you want it to be the kind of video that is really interesting for the whole way through. And if you need to put captions in and other things, you now know how to do that. You can just highlight the text and actually just create titles and captions. Like I'll show you another one here. If we want to put just a bit of caption in, we actually give ourselves the best chance of doing a good job. And it actually makes the production... So we can go give ourselves the best chance. Let's say I wanted to caption just that. So if I go to text, captions, actually give ourselves the best chance, you can create a custom look over here. You can change the colors for filler words. You can give it a border. You can give it a background if you wanted to, like if you want the word to have a background, but I often don't like to do that. I find it a little bit distracting. And you can have active words and filler words, future words. You can play with all of this. And then you can change the fonts. As I said, you can upload your own fonts, change the weight of that, make it smaller, make it bigger. Like, it's actually great. So then if we go here, we actually give ourselves the best chance of doing... Okay, and so if we look at this, we actually give ourselves the best... And it's, see how it's going? I want to make it say just give. So I just had to move that a little bit because it was still hanging on to a little bit of the actually. But we actually give ourselves the best chance of doing... And we can see that there is actually still a little bit of a background there. So I just want to make sure there's nothing there at all. Chance of doing... Actually give ourselves the best chance of doing a good job. And it actually makes the product... Yeah? So you can see these are all the fun little things that you can put into a video in Descript. You can go and you can find stock images, stock video as well. On the other end, not so hard to do because you've set yourself up well. You've got a good camera. So here, you've got a good camera. Instead of it being a GIF, you could go in here and you could go to videos. And you could say DSLR camera. And it will give you some videos that have this as stock footage, which is pretty great. So then you can just, and that's one here as well. This is 7 seconds. So maybe I'll put that one in. Set yourself up well. You've got a good camera, or that's not really a good camera for video, so I might not use that. Let's try another one. I mean, that's pretty great, but it's very big, like long, 30 seconds. Set yourself up well. You've got a good camera or you've got great... Yeah, so there you go. So you see what I mean? You could go through and put a bunch of stock Everything is there for you in Descript. You don't have to go anywhere else and find all this stuff. Because you're using Descript, you have access to this stuff. What I'm doing here is I'm on the Pro plan, which gives me access to all of that stuff all the time. So you can see the stock library. If you're just on the Creator plan, you only get the first 12 results per search. So you won't get as much available to you. And maybe that's all you need to begin with. But Pro is what we have, and it's pretty awesome to have all that sort of stuff at your fingertips without you having to go anywhere else, and it makes a seamless process there. So that is the process of editing a solo episode with some fun graphics, showing you how to do those kind of things, putting it in there. Now you can go away and do this yourself with your episode. Do know it will take a while for you to put a bunch of things in there. And it just depends on how much time you actually have to devote to a detailed edit like this, putting a bunch of fun things in, putting a bunch of sound effects in. To give you a ballpark on it, for us, it's for one of our videos, let's say the video is 15 minutes long, to do a proper detailed edit where we're dropping in a lot of this stuff that's just fun, lots of sound effects, all the things, that can take multiple hours for 15 minutes. That could take 2.5 to 3 hours for a 15-minute video. It gives you a bit of an idea as to the kind of level of complexity that we go into. You don't have to do that. Just front load as much as you can, at least to begin with, and then build up to a full-on production edit where you feel like you've just nailed it all the way through. And that would be my recommendation to begin with for editing your solo video episodes. In the next lesson, we'll show you quickly how to put together your theme with a video episode, because it is a little bit different to an audio episode.